What's up, guys? Adam here. Today I'm going to be brewing a double IPA. We're using about 14 pounds of grain, 12 pounds of two-row. I got a pound of Crystal 40, a pound of Carapils, and then we're going to be putting a bunch of hops in it. I'm using Magnum, which is a 16.8% alpha acid, and also Equinox, which is a 13.5% alpha acid. I'm going to mash it in super dry. I'm hoping to get like a nice dry profile so that the hops really shine through. Calling it the Suicide Double IPA because I'm hoping it's just going to like blow your head off. Hope you guys enjoy. While my mash tun is preheating with some boiling water, I've got my strike water coming up to temp here. I'm looking for a strike temperature of about 159 degrees. Here's my mash tun. It's just a 48 quart cooler with a bazooka tube set up inside for filtration. Sorry about the steam. I like to get everything I need for the entire brew day set up ahead of time. Got my fermentation vessel, I got my paddle, and some beer obviously. Got some coffee stout from Sierra Nevada. Got my strainers. The mesh strainer is going to be for just final straining after the wort is chilled and getting it into the vessel. The colander there is going to be for use in my sparging, just to help not to disturb the grain bed. Got my star stand here. It's very important to be super sanitary about what you're doing. It's kind of a shame if you go to all the effort to make this beer and then poor sanitation leads to contamination. Got my hop additions all ready here. I got 2 ounces of Warrior going in at 60 minutes. Then I've got another 2 ounces of Equinox going in at 15 minutes. Doing another ounce of Warrior at the 10-minute mark, and then another ounce of Equinox at the 5-minute mark. Here's my grain all milled up and ready to go. I don't have the mill, so I just do it at the homebrew store. You don't want to do it too far in advance. You risk oxidizing your grains, and that can lead to some off flavors. I got my scale. I use that to weigh out all my hops and stuff. This here is my yeast. I harvested this from a previous batch. This is a Safale US-05. You can see a video down below. I got my wort chiller ready to go. We're going to drop that in at the last 15 minutes of the boil to help to sanitize it. But here I also have a few other things. I've got my WhirlFloc tablet here on the left. That's going to be dropped in at the last 15 minutes of the boil. That's going to help with the clarity of the beer. It helps to coagulate the proteins, and they'll settle out when we cool down the beer. Directly next to that, we've got the yeast nutrient. That's going to be used to help give the yeast a nice kickstart and give them all the nutrition that they need to get going real good. I've got the airlock here on the right-hand side. That's going to be filled up with sanitizer and stuck into the top of the fermentation bucket so that the carbon dioxide gas can escape and doesn't let any bad stuff in there that you don't want to get in. It just helps it breathe. Also here we got some iodophor. I'm going to use this after the mash is done with its starch conversion. We're going to put a drop in the plate, and based on the color that comes out, it's going to tell us if all of our sugars have been converted. I'll show more on that later. Here I have a hop slider. This isn't entirely necessary, but I've found it to be very helpful at the end of the beer, especially with big hoppy beers like this when you just got a bunch of hop particulate in there. This goes on top of the boil kettle, and then it helps to infuse the hop flavors and aromas and everything in there. And then it's super easy. At the end, you just pull it out, throw it in the trash, done. I've got all my grain mixed into my strike water here. You want to add your grain in batches to make sure that you can get it mixed up real well. You don't want to wind up with any dough balls or anything that's going to prevent you from getting a full starch conversion, and also can lead to a stuck sparge. Also, it's important to take care when you're mixing in your grains so that you don't knock loose your bazooka tube at the bottom. That's just a big time pain in the ass. This cooler actually holds temperature pretty well, but just for the sake of hitting my my match temperature right on and keeping it constant for the whole hour, I go ahead and I drape a blanket over the top just to insulate it a little bit better. Now that this is all done, I'm going to go ahead and start a timer, wait for the full hour, and then I'm going to do my my sugar test with the iodine, and I'll show that to you in just a minute. Alright, so we're getting ready to get our first runnings out of this. Everything is converted. What we're going to be doing is batch sparging, so we're going to pour off a couple of quarts into our container here. That's going to get the grain bed to settle down and act as a filtration device. Once we have our liquid running clear, then we know we're ready to start running the rest of it out. Following that, we're going to do our batch sparge. Want to open it nice and slow so you don't get a stuck sparge. See liquid coming out. Generally, you'll see a few little chunks of particulate in your first and second tries at this. See them mostly floating in there. Once we get this all filled up, we're going to close the valve. Gently pour that back over the top so we don't disturb the grain bed. Important not to rush this or you're going to screw yourself. See all the chunks of particulate in there. Do it again. And still. One more time, it's not running real clear. It's running nice and clear now. We don't have any chunks of floaties in there. See the stuff coming through the tube is nice and clear. Start running that into our brew kettle. Dump all that in. Adjust the valve a little bit to lower the flow. This is really hot. You don't want to go too fast or you're going to risk leaving some sugars behind. Alright, so got our sparge water up to temperature. We're sparging at 168 degrees. We're going to add it all in. Very important to make sure your ball valve is closed, or you're going to have a big ass mess. Our total sparge volume is 3.03 gallons of water. Get it all dumped in here. The point of this is to extract as much sugar from the grains as possible. And give it a nice mix. Alright, now that that's all mixed up, we're going to give it a close and let it sit for about 10 minutes. Let those sugars get nice and softened up and ready for the sparge. Alright, so now we're going to start the sparge. We've got our sparge water in there. Put the valve open. Just get a nice slow flow going. Just like before, you don't want to rush it. Again, we're just settling the grain bed. We're going to do this a couple times or until the liquid starts to run clear. Bunch of particulate in there. Get it shut all the way. Keep this back. Gently pour it over. As you look through the tube, you'll see particulate. Once you start to lose that particulate, you don't see anything floating in there, then you're ready to go. Nice and slow on your second running. Still a lot of floaties in there. Not so much coming through the line now, so we should be good on the next pour off that we do. Pour over again. This valve is super hot. Now we're running very clear. No chunks in there. Nothing comes through the line. Let it pour, dump that in there. Let it flow. Pour this back. Any of those chunks that we missed, they're going to get filtered out at the end anyway, so just do your best to get as much as you can out. Alright, this is the 60-minute hop edition. It's 2 ounces of Warrior hop, 16.8% alpha acid. Drop into the hop spider. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, that's fucking good. Alright, we're going to let that steep, set a timer for 45 minutes. Once that timer goes off, we're going to add the wort chiller, our roll flock tablet, yeast nutrient, and our next hop addition. Alright, we're going to add the wort chiller. We're going to pull the hop spider through here without making a mess. Alright, let's set it clean. Alright. That'll work. Alright. Now that's in there, that's going to sterilize for the last 15 minutes of boil. We're going to add the Whirl Flock tablet. Usually break it up to get it a head start on dissolving. It's going to help the proteins to coagulate. Yeast nutrient. Alright, I don't know where this so we'll improvise. Here's a spoon. About a teaspoon of yeast nutrient. Alright, now we're going to dump 2 ounces of equinox in. Oh, the fucking hop spider, Jesus. Okay, well, you know, more or less. Stirring. Give it a little bounce to get it stirring up. Then we're going to set a timer for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we're going to add our 10-minute hop addition. Alright, so we're going to add an ounce of Magnum hop. We're at 10 minutes in the boil. Actually going into the hop spider now. Hopefully. Yes. This is our last hop addition, 5 minutes, an ounce of equinox. That's the rhythms of the hop spider. We're going to let this go for another 5 minutes. After that, we're going to hook up the wort chiller to the sink and cool it down and get ready for pitching. So now that all the boiling's done, we've got the wort chiller hooked up. We can turn on the sink and get the water flowing through it. It's going to transfer all the heat out of the wort into the water that's running out, and we're going to let it cool down super fast so we can pitch our heat. The water coming out of the faucet is super cold as it transfers through the copper coil. All that heat from the wort goes into the water, exiting the coil, and it comes out super hot. So this should cool down in about 15-20 minutes, rather than about 2.5 hours with an ice out. See, the temperature's dropping. It's been about 30 seconds. It's already dropped about 5-10 degrees. So we got the wort chiller going. We're already down about 112 degrees in the past maybe 10-15 minutes. You can see over here the hops right near the hop bag. All the proteins are starting to coagulate. That's what we're looking for. That's going to help us with our clarity in our beer. All those hops are going to bind together with that Whirlfloc tablet, and they're just going to settle out to the bottom. That's going to make us a nice, clean, clear beer. Alright, so now that it's done cooling, all the proteins have coagulated down. You can see how nice and clear it is. We're going to strain it off into the fermenter and pitch our yeast. Alright, we're going to strain it out, get all the protein solids out. While we're doing this, it's oxygenating the beer and give the yeast a nice healthy environment to work in. We didn't use the hop spider. We'd have tons of hop particulate in here, and that would just make it a serious pain to strain out. Takes a while. This wort is now cooled down to about 73 degrees, which is the perfect pitching temperature. Once it's all strained out, then we're going to go ahead and put our yeast in there, put the lid on with the fermentation airlock, and we'll be good to go. 3.5, what the fuck? Where are we at? Everything's strained out. We have all of our protein collected in the strainer here. We came in a lot under our total gallon volume that we wanted. I'm just going to go ahead and top off here with some pure filtered water, and we'll get this thing started. Everything's strained out. We have all of our protein collected in the strainer here. We came in a lot under our total gallon volume that we wanted. I'm just going to go ahead and top off here with some pure filtered water, and we'll get this thing started. Everything's topped off. I got it up to about 5 1/4, so I can account for the true loss at the bottom when all the yeast and hop particulate settle out. Hopefully we're going to wind out with a good... Alright, so we got the yeast from my previous batch all mixed up and ready to go. We're going to dump it into the wort here. It's all dumped in. I have a sanitized spatula. I'm going to get it all mixed up, get a little more oxygen in there. It's all in suspension in this mason jar, so we don't really have to mix too thoroughly. Deep. We're going to stick the lid on the bucket here. And now we've got the airlock put in, about halfway filled up with Star San sanitizer. This closet here stays about 72 degrees, a little bit lower, so we're right in the ideal temperature for the Safel US-05. Right here is my black IPA. We're going to be bottling this in about a week. It's been sitting there for about 2 weeks. I usually bottle after 2 weeks, but I'm going to give it another week or so to settle and age a little bit longer. And we'll be posting a video on the bottling, the taste test, and also the washing of the yeast later on. So we came in at 1.066. We're looking for 1.075. About 9 points under what we were looking for, but I'm still pretty happy with it considering that it's only my third all-grain batch. I'm hoping that you guys found this video to be really informative. I'm still learning and growing as I'm producing these videos and these batches of beer. Any comments will be greatly appreciated. Feel free to post below and like and follow. Thank you.